Okay, folks, I'm going to, maybe that's not the right, I'm starting with the haddock, crispy haddock wraps. They're going to be delicious. I have my panko, I have my uh, chopped up granny, well, these have been julienned, Granny Smith, it's a 3/4 of a Granny Smith apple. I have an entire pound of haddock, so I'm assuming I might have quite a bit of, I might need a little more of everything. So I'm going to start with the end first. I'm going to, the last parts first, so that this all goes smoothly and quickly. So what's fun about this is, if you're single, like me, you can just use bagged coleslaw. It's not like you really need an entire head of red cabbage, an entire head of green cabbage, and a bunch of carrots. You can just buy it. So I want about 3 cups. That's probably 4, but you can use your judgment. I trust you. We're going to add a 1/4 cup or a little more of real mayonnaise. Goes without saying. I think that that's more than 3 cups, but we can add 3 cups of salad. In England, we call this salad. Anything green that goes in a sandwich is salad. I have my garnish, which is any kind of leafy herb, not a woody herb. So I have fresh coriander. I have chopped dill. I have my my apple julienne. Actually, I want that in here right now. And it's there's lemon juice in that because I needed to keep it from browning. And I can see right now that I will need a little more of the mayo. Oops. Oh well, that was a bit much. And I'm going to do a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. You could use clear white refined vinegar. I'm just going to use 1 right now. Well, okay, 1.5 tablespoons. And this can go, we'll just stir this up. And then it can go in the fridge. But this entire meal takes almost no time. But I just want to note that it's easier if you start to make your salad at the beginning so you don't end up eating cold fish. And the mayonnaise is going to, after I taste this, I'll see if I want to season it. Maybe some pepper. I find store-bought products salty, so I don't usually add. So that's just sort of, that's what we call the salad. So I'll put that aside. And then we have the oven. It's preheating to 400. I have my flour tortillas. That's going to make the wraps. I prefer that type, but you can use any type. You can use vegetable tortillas made of beans, proteins, etc., etc. There's no rule there. And so when this is 370, what I'm going to do is because I have more fish than normal, I'm just going to pour out 2 cups of panko. You know what? I'm going to pour all of it. What am I going to do with a 1/4 cup of panko? And we're going to oil that. No, first we're going to salt it. 1/4 teaspoon. But now that means, for me, just 2 pinches of coarse salt, kosher salt. And we're going to oil this a little bit. And we're going to brown it at 400 for 5 minutes. And I think I need another device. There we go. So we're just going to, the thing we can do this, there's another use for the mayo, which you'll see and perhaps find interesting, because this is quick and easy. Not gourmet, not bistro, just quick and easy. Okay, so we have the oil and we have the salt. The temperature is at 390. When it reaches 400, I'll put it in and brown it. When I brown the Japanese breadcrumbs, there it is, for 5 minutes. And then they can get cooled down while I make the mixture that the haddock goes in. So I'll be right back. Oh yeah, they're really toasty. It's been 5 minutes, and we're just gonna, you know what? These go on a plate, but I have to stir it up. But I don't see any burning. I think I got it just in time. So we have this nice panko with the nice browning. So I'll just put this on a plate to cool. But I do want to mix it up, because some parts the outer parts became browner than the inner part of the pan. So I feel like, well, that's looking good. But I think that we're melting part of this bench, and I need to get a plate or another pan, another roasting pan, another tray would be good. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. And put the fan on and let it cool down. I don't want it to melt my thing here. I want to touch it. Yeah, they're hot, but they're not still cooking. I'll turn the fan on. Okay, so that'll be good. They'll cool down. I'll make it very thin, and they'll cool down. If you make it thinner, the cooling happens more quickly. And frankly, I need this amount of space, so I'm not transferring to a plate. Hey, my lovelies, I just want to show you how I'm coating, what it takes to get this prepped for the oven. The oven's on 400, and I just want to show you what it takes to get your fillets coated. These are patted dry. We have our crumbs, and basically the glue is simply this. I want to get this pan cooled down because I need some water. So we're going to do it's a 1-to-1 situation. I'm doing 2 tablespoons of mayo, tablespoons, and then 2 tablespoons of water, cold, like that, to thin it. That's really it. And now we simply whisk that up into a nice slurry. Looks like pancake batter, or more like crepe batter. And then you just coat your fish like this. Just want to get rid of this and this. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned already, but I have a tray. I have a rack in a baking tray, because we want the fish to cook on both sides. So get this coated. You really want it to have dry fish before you coat, and basically real mayonnaise. And then that can go somewhere. And then we're just going to take our already toasted panko breadcrumbs and pat them and flip and pat. I did all of mine this way. And you're going to love it. It's only going to take a few minutes there. So put it lengthwise on the tray. Temperature is up to 400, which is where you want it, and these are going to, so pat, pat, pat. And there we go. And they're 400, it's okay, I have to wash my hands just a sec. And then you just put it in the oven for 12 to 14 minutes. At 11 minutes, and you don't flip or anything, you're just baking, and the air should bake underneath. And that's why we put a rack in the baking sheet. And then I'm going to put a couple of these on the top rack to heat up for a minute and a half, say at 11 minutes. So I'll set my timer for 11, and then another minute and a half, and everything should be perfect, and you'll see that in the next video. Okay, loves, it's time to take the fish out. I'm looking for my gloves. They've been in for 12 minutes. I put the tortillas in at 11 minutes, so I'm going to heat up. But these look fantastic. So I'm just going to leave the tortillas in a minute longer. So like 2 minutes. They're on a rack on the rack at the top. And we have our salad. Let's taste it. I need a fork because I need to know if it needs any seasoning, because that's the base. And also, I just used this, and I don't know, it's pretty fresh. Doesn't need salt. I add the apple to freshen it up. I added it to coleslaw. I just used these larger tortillas because I think they'll be nicer to wrap, but you could use anything. Oh, and I want to slice up where's the knife? I want to slice up a lime for a garnish. I got some pepper on the plate. Not so worried about that. This is an everyday meal, not a gourmet meal. So let's slice up some limes for the plate. Okay, so these, I don't want to burn the tortillas. I'm using, like I said, flour tortillas. I just want to, oh, and they're kind of puffing up. That's okay. So I have a rack on a rack. Here's the rack. I'm going to use this kind of hot one. You can see it's steaming. I can turn off the oven now because it's hot in here. And I'll show you how I did the patting. I basically, to get the crust on, I did a combo of 2 tablespoons mayo, 2 tablespoons water, whisked up. Then I put all the fish in the mixture, and then I put them on the tray with the crumbs, just placing them. And then once they were there, I coated them the other side and patted down and placed them on this rack in a baking tray. They need to be on that rack because they need to be crisp on both sides. So I'm just going to get some salad out like that. I'm going to get a nice chunky piece of haddock. Like I said before, I would have you know what, perhaps I'll do 2. Because, I'm the only one eating. I can tell the fish is gorgeous just by the way it flakes. I would have used halibut, but, hashtag food desert. So now I think everything with lime goes with coriander, fresh coriander, especially if you're doing something taco related. And then I have the dill, and I love dill. And we're going to wrap it up like that. And these are crispy and warm. So I think it would be, so they're not going to wrap really perfectly. They're really crispy. And I think I'll just take the knife and cut it on a diagonal. So you have these gorgeous fish wraps. Remember, they're all crusty like that. Crispy and crusty. I want to see if you can see it. Let's put it like that. Alright. Add some limes on the plate. And maybe add a little more salad on the side, like that. I feel like I need to wipe this down for a picture. But you know what? Let's just put a little more of the herbs. A little more herbs. And I think that's a really great, quick, and easy meal. Okay, let's hope this recorded.